In May 1999, a call came from a neighborhood in the city of Almeida, located in the district of Golden Hills. The fire department received reports about a blazing fire on the 7th floor of a residential building. At the same time, another call came through for an ambulance as the residents feared someone might be trapped inside. When the fire grew stronger, neighbors broke down the door in a desperate attempt to rescue anyone inside. They found a young girl named Lila, just 3 years old, lying near the door. Neighbors assumed she had perished due to the heavy smoke, but the ambulance crew quickly arrived and rushed Lila to the hospital, where doctors were able to revive her despite her unconscious state. While firefighters managed to extinguish the fire, only to discover a body in the same room. It was Sarah, Lila's older sister, aged 10. Sadly, Sarah had passed away, having suffered multiple stab wounds. The investigation showed a broken knife embedded in her jaw and signs of severe burns, suggesting that the fire had been deliberately set to ensure Sarah's death. The fire had been intentionally started in their room, with an unusually large amount of kerosene poured on Sarah's body. The killer had locked the door, trapping both girls inside, and the fire was set to kill them. However, Lila survived, likely due to her proximity to the door when the neighbors managed to break it open. The investigation quickly turned from a tragic accident to a double murder. Police found that the house had been ransacked and £3,000 were missing. The fact that such a horrific crime was committed over a relatively small amount of money baffled the investigators. As the investigation continued, they learned about Sarah's background. She lived with her mother and stepfather, and despite their financial struggles, they had always provided for the family. However, Sarah and Lila were often left alone at home for long periods due to their parents' work schedules. The case seemed like it might be an isolated incident, until one detail raised suspicion. The family's neighbor, Emily, a 38-year-old woman, had lived in the building and was known to have had a falling out with Sarah's mother. Emily, however, was still considered an unlikely suspect. The police noticed that Emily had a fresh scratch on her face, which she claimed came from her daughter. However, their suspicions grew when they discovered large quantities of kerosene in Emily's apartment. When they questioned her, Emily denied having anything to do with the crime. Further investigation revealed a shocking truth. Emily had no bank account, despite telling her husband that she had withdrawn money from a bank. As they confronted her with the evidence, Emily broke down and confessed to the crime. Emily admitted to having a history of criminal activity. After marrying Sarah's stepfather, she began to secretly steal money to support their lifestyle. Most recent crime involved stealing £3,000 from Sarah's family. On the day of the murder, Emily had decided to steal again. When she arrived at the apartment, she found the two girls alone. After learning from Sarah that her father kept the money in the bank, Emily drugged the girls and began to question them. When Sarah refused to keep the secret, Emily snapped. In a fit of rage, she attacked Sarah, stabbing her over 30 times, breaking the knife in her jaw. She then set the apartment on fire to cover her tracks, locking the door to make sure Lila would perish as well. Emily left the scene and returned to her apartment, where she prepared to move the stolen money. When she realized the police were investigating, she feigned shock and grief. Her lies couldn't cover up the truth. Emily's shocking betrayal left everyone around her in disbelief, especially her husband, who had no idea about her criminal past. After a thorough trial, Emily was sentenced to death in 2000 for the murder of Sarah, the attempted murder of Lila, arson, and theft. The tragedy of Sarah's death and Lila's survival serves as a painful reminder that even those we trust the most can harbor dark secrets. This case also highlights the importance of never leaving young children unsupervised, as it can put them at the mercy of people like Emily, calculating, ruthless, and capable of committing unimaginable acts.